you, Serena. I feel very very humbled to be asked. To be honest, when I first got the message, I thought, oh, I'm not a theologian. I can't speak, but it's about Sister Eveleen, and I can speak about Sister Eveleen, and I love to speak about Sister Eveleen. So my name is Antje, and as you can see in my little name, this is how it's pronounced in sort of English, Antje. It's a Dutch name, means Annie in Dutch, but I'm German. My surname is Polish, actually, as you can see, and I'm also a New Zealander since last year. I live in Diamond Harbour. That's where I'm calling you today from. Diamond Harbour is opposite Littleton. It's a little rural sort of community, best place for us to live. Live here with my husband, and we have 5 children, 3 at home, or 2 actually at home at the moment. And my background is actually I have a master's in education from Germany. I have also a Bachelor of Feminist Studies from Canterbury, University of Canterbury here. This is where I met my husband, funnily enough. I have a postgraduate degree in education. When I started here, I was asked to study pastoral ministry because I didn't have that background, even though I worked in youth ministry a long time. So I started studying from 2012 on, first in the pastoral ministry certificate, and I'm actually still doing postgraduate studies toward a degree in chaplaincy in Otago. And my background is chaplaincy. I have been for 12 years. I've been a pastoral chaplain in 2 of the Catholic schools here in Christchurch, which is a role I loved. As you can hear, or as you probably think, my faith background is Catholic, Roman Catholic, but it's sort of the German variety, I would say. It's a bit stroppy. It's a bit influenced by Protestantism, different from what I experienced here. So Sister Eveleen is, I will tell you a little bit later, is connected to the Anglican diocese, but very ecumenical. So there's a great place for me to sit. It's I love that space of Christianity, what we meet there, what I see there. But before I start about Sister Eveleen, I would love to know who's actually here. And it's good to know, I can see your names, but who are you? Where are you? What's your role? Sister Eveleen is a very small retreat house. Its personal connections are very important for us, and the personal approach, So I would love to hear from you. And I would, as all my other in my other Zoom meetings, I will call your names as I see them, and then you just answer if that's okay with you. Is that okay? Good. So, and I will start on my top left. It's Charles's iPhone. Who is this? You need to unmute yourself.
So I'm Reverend Peter Cheng from Nelson.
All right.
Priest in charge for the Māori Church.
Right. When you introduce yourself, can you tell me if you actually heard about Sister Eveleen or if you've been there? That would be great for me to know.
I've heard about it, but I haven't really know much into it. But tonight it will be lovely to for you to share that to us tonight, and for me to know more.
Yes, thank you.
To know more about her. But I've heard.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Sue McCafferty.
Yeah, I'm from Dunedin, Otipoti, and I have been to Sister Eveleen retreat house quite a bit when I was in South Canterbury and also North Otago. It was closer then.
Thank
you. Yeah, no, amazing place and very ecumenical. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about it because that was 20 years ago.
Oh, good. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Sue. Tiffany.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Tiffany. I'm from Rimutaka ki Muritai Vestry. We're here up in Wellington, and I'm just here to check it out. Not heard of Eveleen before, so and nice to meet you, ladies, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiffany. Serena.
Kia ora whānau. I'm Serena Williams. I'm joining from Auckland, Te Piopotango o Te Taitokero. And I have not heard of Sister Eveleen before, and I can't wait to come and visit you already.
Good. Thank you, Serena. Kala Nagara.
Kia ora tātou. Yes, I'm in Palmerston North. I worship at Makaere Tapu. It's a part of the Amorangi o Te Upoko o Tika. I'm on the vestry there. I'm doing kai karakia training and studying on Te Takawai. And yeah, look, I've not heard of the retreat, but I like retreats. So I'm interested. I feel like retreating tonight. So yes, looking forward to hearing about it.
Yes.
Thank you, Carla. And Jenny.
Kia ora, Antje. Ko Jenny Campbell ho, no Mossburn ho ki Murihiku. It's Mossburn's a little town in Southland, but at the moment I'm supposedly helping look after my great-grandchildren. So the running in and out and all that and the dog barking and etc. is all part of a holiday. And I'm going to go and visit Sue, hopefully, this weekend. Yeah, on my way to a Green Party launch of a campaign launch in Dunedin. Yeah, and yeah, I'm involved with the Women's Network because I'm the local co-convener for Murihiku for this group, the cause, the Council for Anglican Women's Studies. And yeah, I've been part of it when it started. Actually, I was at General Synod when the money was given to women to have their own study centre. I remember it was such a big thing. We were so worried that General Synod wasn't going to give women any money to set up the study centre. So yeah, anyway, and it's grown and grown and it's really helpful and beneficial. So I'm sorry I'm telling you a bit of history. You may already know that, but yeah.
Oh, no, I don't. That's good.
No.
Yeah. And you're all sort of in ministry.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's three tikanga. I'm not sure if you know much about the Anglican Church. Yep.
Yeah,
and
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've never been to is it Sister Eveleen's place? Sister
Eveleen. Yeah, Sister Eveleen. Yeah.
Yep. I've never known about it or been there, but it sounds fascinating. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you've got to tell us. Kia ora.
Okay. I will. And I'm sorry that I didn't do my mihi because I was a bit nervous. Usually I can do my mihi in 3 languages. I learned that through school actually very well because we were so bicultural. So I missed that. I missed that. Any next time. Anyway, okay. I thought so. My plan is to actually take you up on the hill up to Sister Eveleen today. I have a little slideshow where I will take you because Sister Eveleen is on a hill in Sumner. I will want to take you up the hill and explain what we are doing and what it is all about. And yeah, and try to sort of, there's a very special way when we have guests coming for the first time. They step on our porch, our deck, and they slow down. They breathe and they slow down. And this is beautiful to see that this house, this ministry, and that this house actually radiates this. And this is exactly why we are here for. That was Sister Eveleen's vision, and we are still working on that. There's a lot of aroha and mahi in this house, from different years, people, volunteers from different denominations, and it's still going on. Yeah, before I take you up the hill, Sister Eveleen, she was an Anglican nun in the community of the Sacred Name in Christchurch. If you've been to Christchurch, the community of the Sacred Name is well, across where the Catholic Basilica was a huge convent. There is still a little convent now there, but I think they even have sold the last bits. There was a retreat house there. And then there's sort of two versions of the story. We get told that she had to she had to move on from the community because either she was quite stroppy and was very outspoken and she wanted to send her off. But the other story, other part of the story says that she actually had some lung disease and she was, it would have been better for her to live at the sea, closer to the sea. And what we know now of her, we have one of our former board members is a historian, and he grabs, he discovers new stories about her. She must have been a very forthright woman. She basically, with the financial help of her family, she built this place and made a one-woman convent out of that. And even though she was not in the community anymore, she lived by monastic rules and Benedictine Carmelite rules. She offered retreats, she offered sacramental program, and she was very much involved with the Anglican parish in Sumner. There's the story that she apparently during winter she came down the hill and the priest there said, "Sister, it's so cold. Why do you come down for mass?" And she said, "I'm not made out of sugar. Of course I come down." And there's also stories that she sometimes left a mess because she didn't like the homily or the sermon. So there's a lot sort of different stories cruising around her. When she was young, she was a very almost professional violinist, and she traveled also as a young woman through Europe. And we are speaking 1920s, so 1920, which is quite amazing. We have a travel journal in our house where she has written down everything. So very interesting. When she was about to, or she knew she would be dying, she handed the house over to the Anglican diocese as a house for spiritual help and prayer and for the refreshment of clergy, which we now translate today to everyone who's serving in ministry. And this is what it's still today. It's a house of spiritual help and prayer in form of a lot of things, but we'll come to that. Okay, let me take you up the hill. I will share my screen now. If there's anything you don't understand or is lost in translation, please let me know, and I try to explain it or make sense of it. Okay. Okay. You can see that? Is that everything? Just give me the thumbs up if that's okay.
Yes.
Good, and you can hear me. Okay, so this is what you see is this is Sister Eveleen Retreat House, the house with a turquoise roof in the middle. That's the house, and what you see, the little sort of building next to it, it's what we call the annex, which was built later. I have this this picture because it's like 2 months ago we were in very bad press here. We had a Saturday, the Saturday press featured us very negatively actually. With this picture. In the end, it gave us a lot of positive publicity, but I just thought it's actually quite a good picture to see where we are on the hill. You can see we are surrounded by really, it's probably one of the top locations property-wise in Christchurch. And some say it's the Amalfi Coast of Christchurch, some of the real estate agents. So Sister Eveleen had a really vision when she got this place there at that time. This is one of the oldest houses on the hill. So this is how it looks like it's a drone picture from afar. But when you come to us, oh, why can't I go over? Oh. I want to go to my next slide. Here. So when you come to us, you actually have to walk up the hill. So on the left side, this is a Whitewash Head Road. This is our road. You have to park your car at the bottom, usually in Sumner Beach, and then you walk up that road. And it's straight next to the sea. The seagulls are nesting, and sometimes they're really loud. And then you come to our little, it's not a driveway, it's the access gate, our letterbox and the road, and then you go up again to the gate, and you go through our gate, and on the left picture you see you go further up, and on the right picture you see you go even further up. So when I invite people to come to us, especially our day retreat people, those with not too much luggage, I invite them to take this the way to us as a pilgrimage, because we're going up the hill. You're actually going away. We are very close to the city, but because we are very secluded in a way, it is really away from things. You're going up the hill. And then you're going further up, and you can see slowly our house up there. And then there we are, Sister Eveleen house. And you step on our porch. This is our porch. And this is the place where people stand. They're offered with water, usually, because they're out of breath. Water and cookies, because hospitality is something really important for us. And then we just let them breathe and just look out. And this is, you can say, some people could say it's magic, but this is where the spirit of the house is actually really coming through, and people slow down. And this is what we are about. Our place is really some people call it a thin place or a liminal space, some people call it a soul space, It's just, we want our guests to think that we are a home to them, however long they are with us, and that everything they think, all the deep thinking can be done there. Everything that is in our crazy world is a luxury. This can be done here. And sometimes to come to that point, you need silence, you need rest, and you need to stop. You need to stop first. This is the first thing. You need to stop, pause, and rest and breathe. And then everything else follows. A little bit further down. So we look out to Pegasus Bay. That's towards the ocean. This is towards the north, this view. And this is to the other side. When you look to the left, we see Sumner. This is the lighthouse in Sumner. I don't know actually what it's called, the first little hill. The hill behind is Shag Pile. If you have been before the earthquakes, it was Shag Rock. And then you can see the estuary, and you can see the Alps, which are actually looking quite big on this picture. They're not always looking that big, but you can imagine it's the most glorious view, actually. And you are sort of surrounded by creation. You are surrounded by beauty, and every day is different. Every day the water is different, the mountains look different, the air, the breathe, everything is different. Yeah, so you can see if we look further to the left, you see Sumner. This is the suburb of Sumner. And we are quite high up. We're not on the top of the hill, we're at the hill. And yeah, so what do we do? What do we offer people? So people come to us for retreats or for pause. A lot of the people come not super stressed, because we can't offer, like, we're not a counseling center. We're not a place where we have 24/7 spiritual direction or something. So people need to have some sort of feeling of self-sufficiency, or still able to decide, If we would feel that someone needs urgent care, I would try to, we have other retreat places where we not cooperate with, but we sort of know of each other, because we can't offer that, unfortunately. But what we can offer is a place just to sit down and be silent, or pray, or just rest. Yeah. And we have in the main house, we have 4 rooms. 3 of them are twin rooms, as you can see here. And 1 single room, and our annex has 4 other rooms, but I show you a little bit around. So these are the twin rooms, and they all have access to the porch. Some people come on retreat, and they sit on the porch and look at the sea the whole time, and that's okay. It's always when I lead retreats, I always say, so if I don't feel offended if you don't use my program, if you need to look at the sea, because it's actually calming down quite a lot, and it's quite inspiring as well. So, but these are two of our rooms, St. Catherine and St. Mary. And this is when you look at, this is the annex up on the other building. It has a little bit of another porch. And at the back, you can see there's another door. This is where our resident host lives. So I'm the director of Sister Eveleen, but we also have a resident host who is actually living there, but not so much involved in the running and admin and retreat planning, but offering hospitality for overnight guests. The annex has been renovated 23. We have an amazing board. They are quite courageous. We just had a kitchen renovation, and they were just, they see something needs to be done, and then they fundraise and they get it done, and it's all by most of it is by volunteer power. So it's quite amazing. So this annex has been done with volunteer help 23, and they sort of the rooms resembling monastic cells. If you have been, Sue, you said you were here 20 years ago. These rooms were sort of known as the horse stables, apparently. And they had two sort of different openings at the front. So they are now all insulated, have the window in the back is gone, and they're really nice and cozy little rooms with bespoke desks and everything, yeah. So this is our annex. This is one of the annex rooms, actually, with they're small, but there's everything you need for a retreat. Back in the main house, we have a chapel, and this is actually quite a treasure, and we want to. I think it's a taonga of the city, actually, and we try to be in one of the Christchurch open Christchurch in the next couple of years, because not many people know this. This chapel has been also built by Sister Eveleen, and I think it used to be a very traditional Anglican chapel. And since I'm there and before already, the pews have been removed, and we sit in prayer benches. But you can see it's very, it's dark for some people who come from the more younger churches. They maybe find it dark, but I've never heard any not positive comment actually about this. This is where a lot of our whole house is a house of prayer, but the chapel especially. We have a prayer rhythm, which is Monday, Tuesday, Thursday midday prayer, which is always open to the community as well. And we sometimes have people coming to join us. It will always be done, even if there's no one there. We or Sandy, who's the resident host, or we will do the midday prayer. But we are sometimes joined by people from the community. And of course, if someone is on retreat or a guest, they usually join in. Mondays, we do the Anglican prayer book midday prayer. Tuesday is a Taizé prayer. And on a Thursday, we do a Celtic bread sharing service from the Iona community. Usually there are less icons and pictures around, paintings. This was for a retreat. So usually it's a bit more simpler, decorated. Again, on the left, the chapel again. And we use prayer stools, prayer benches. And on the right, you can see the old organ, Sister Eveleen's old organ, and the stainless glass windows. It's quite beautiful. This is a picture of Sister Eveleen herself, on the right as a young girl, and on the left in her habit. Yeah. This is in the main room. This is our lounge. So so once you get into through the porch, you come into a dining area and then into the lounge. This is where our retreats take place. You see Alumine, she's one of the retreat leaders, sitting and holding the space for our retreatants. in the back, you see you can see another room. This is Benedict. This is the only single room in the house. This is our dining area. Meals, sharing food is very important. Sharing food together. We see it as a spiritual practice to eat together. You know, what I learned in my studies, you know, they always say that Jesus ate himself through the Gospels, you know, and the table is something very important. Table fellowship, this is where things happen. This is where Jesus taught, where he shared, where he made sure that his ministry, showed how his ministry was done. And we do this as well, very often in silence. All our retreats are silent retreats, or at least quiet, but most are silent. Some of the shorter ones are quiet. Yeah. In terms of food, if we have, I'm not only the director, I do the booking or the retreat leading, I'm also doing the cooking for the retreats, which is quite beautiful because it's a way of hospitality sharing. Yeah, this is one of our groups on the porch. This is a very sort of a popular, or you know, like a loved picture. When a retreat is finished, we take the pictures on the porch. On the left picture, on the person on the right is actually Sandy. She's the resident host of Sister Eveleen. And on the right picture, you see Carol and Colin Renoff. These are two of our retreat leaders. We have the retreats that are longer than a day. They're usually done by spiritual directors, because I'm not a spiritual director, I'm just a chaplain. And they can offer the depth of language, the depth of thinking. And all our retreat leaders are amazingly wise people. You know, when I don't take part in the whole retreat, but the beginning and the end. And what I hear from feedback, it's quite amazing what they can offer. They can offer the space for people to ponder, to meet God, and that's actually happening in our place. You know, we have these stories about how they actually encountered. We have so many stories of encounter at Sister Eveleen, depending, and it doesn't matter where they come from, church-wise or faith-wise. Okay. Yep. Oh, this is our board. Some of our board, and as I said before, I feel very glad to have such a board who is so active and you know, encouraging, supporting. And I don't know if you know other people from the Anglican scene, or diocese. So the front right is Sarah Gardner. She's our chairperson. She's from the Anglican parish of Hanmer. Then in the middle, we have Reverend Jo Cotton. She is one of the priests on the board. She's in Christchurch, St. Nicholas. Then we have Carol Renoff. She's Baptist. She belongs to the Riccarton community. In the back, we have Dougald Wilson, a former Presbyterian minister. And then we have Susan Lynch, who's our treasurer. And we also have Veronica Cross. She's actually Catholic. She's quite new to the board. We have Eddie O'Connor, who was the former director. He's Anglican. And we have Reverend John Fox, who's also the priest from the Anglican diocese. So from the beginning on, Sister Eveleen wanted this place to be an ecumenical place, to welcome people from all walks of faith and life. And that is still today, and also in the past, how the place was managed and directed. So I'm Catholic. My so the person before me, Eddie, was Anglican. We had, I think, a Catholic sister directing. We had people living next door directing. We had people living in the house directing and hosting. So it's evolving. The whole place is still evolving and growing in a way. And you know, it's I don't want to say growing and always getting bigger, but it's just evolving really, and it keeps changing and adapting to the environment. But the ecumenical focus is very strong, and I would say that probably it's not a minority that comes from the Anglican diocese, but it's not the majority. Definitely, we have and there's every 2 weeks that I learn about a new faith community, especially in Christchurch. There are so many Christian churches. We do welcome also people from beyond Christian faith. That's clear. But if it comes to leading retreats or using the house as such, we are very clear that our kaupapa is actually Western contemplative Christianity. Yeah, a lot of work. This is when we had Christ College students helping us. We are on a very low budget, as a lot of places, and especially we are such a niche retreat house. We're so small, and we are. It's not a fight, but it's always, you have to be always on your toes to actually have enough money to keep going. We know that it's an important ministry we're doing. We know that because people who are coming tell us, and also I would say the majority of our people who come to us, they don't do this for themselves. They do it for themselves as well, but they share it because they are ministries, they're ministers, they have a community behind them, or they have families behind them. So they come, they rest, and then they actually can share whatever they gained or received at Sister Eveleen. Yeah, here you see the volunteers working, either painting or digging trenches behind the annex, and yeah, that's always something to be done. Oh, this is our latest project, was the kitchen. So we brought the kitchen of Sister Eveleen into the next century, I would say. It was still from the 1940s, all the cupboards. And this is Duda, who was the main person who actually sort of convinced us that we can do it, and we did. We got enough koha and everything. So this is a whole new kitchen, apart from the floor and the bench. We recycled as much as possible, but all the cupboards are new, and it's amazing to use this kitchen now. It's so light, and yeah, so great. So this is Duda, is our kitchen hero. That's why we have the picture there. Yeah, our new kitchen. Very simple, very simple, but everything is there. Again, some of the beautiful pictures when you stay overnight. You can see the sunset from the porch or from your room. Yeah. So, and this is our mission. Sister Eveleen House is a house of prayer and spiritual help for renewal of all clergy and all serving in Christian ministry. And our mission is to continue Sister Eveleen's dream, to offer her home as a place where people can replenish, immerse themselves in God's loving presence. And that can be in a lot of different ways. So yeah, and now I come to do what we're actually doing. But before I do that, I just want to say, and I had a meeting a couple of weeks ago with clergy, and because you are in ministry as well, I just want to say this is we are actually here for you. We are here for you because Sister Eveleen understood, and many people understand, that when you work in ministry, you need to take your pauses. You need to be refreshed yourselves, otherwise you can't give. Ministry is probably the most beautiful role, vocation, and calling, but with this comes that you can very quickly give too much when you're not careful, and then you you become stressed or burned out, or on edge, and this is not how you can actually share your faith. You can't, it's really hard to do this, and so we are here to give you that rest. We are mainly here for all people working in ministry or serving in ministry, so that they can do this. And it's interestingly that I find it interesting that a lot of the younger churches like Grace or Hope, and sort of, we have people who come, their ministers or pastors come on a regular basis, because they actually get this supported from their church. It's not with the Anglican clergy, for example, it's really hard to get them on retreat because they're so busy, So busy seems to be like a badge of honor these days. But if people ask us, oh, have you been busy at Sister Eveleen? if we are busy, we would make a really bad impression on everyone. So we are not busy, you know, and we run, Sandy and I, we run Sister Eveleen so that it's calm. We do a calm running. We're never busy, you know, because we can't be busy as a retreat place, you know. So we sometimes have more guests than at other times, but we are very careful how many we actually have on site to keep that special calm spirit that is in the house. Some people come, as I said before, they come and they're in their room and that's it. I just had a guest last weekend. She came, had an early check-in, and she stayed 2 nights. When on the day on the checkout, I just thought, you know, are you okay? Is everything okay? Yes, I just love being, you know, they come from very busy places, there's a lot of noise, a lot of talk, and they know at Sister Eveleen, they don't have to even communicate with us. That's fine. We respect this. You know, we just want to know that they're okay, you know, that they're, you know, everything is okay. And then we leave it to them. They don't even have to talk to us if they don't want to. Most of them do, but some say, no, I want to be in silence, and that's fine. We do absolutely respect that. Yeah, so what are we doing? What are we actually offering? And, you know, I will tell you a bit about what we did, what we offered this year, and maybe this inspires you or someone else, you know. That's what I always say at the end of our retreats, you know. Please talk about us, because half of our people come because of Google, and the other half comes because, oh, someone told me about Sister Eveleen. Someone said, oh, go to this, I know about this place, you know. So please talk about us, you know. We need that. We need so many people to come that we can financially survive, but we don't want too many that we are overrun. But that's my job to make sure that we're not overrun. But, you know, we're way far away from overrun. So what do? We have guided retreats. Guided retreats means they are led. The day retreats are mostly led by me. So every last Thursday, we have a day of retreat between 9:30 and 2:30. These times are especially for parents, you know, so that they can do this in between school runs. And I do the topics or the themes according to the liturgical year. As you see, oh, it's actually at the bottom. So like Easter, we have I'm the bread of life. Advent, we had Matariki, and sort of they're quite popular. I think because it's quite a simple and financially easy way to actually do a retreat. And every second month this year we have Sabbath days, which are a little bit less organized, less. There's not much theme, not a special theme, but they are catered, for example. And then we have day retreats, themed day retreats, run by other people. For example, Healing Powers of Psalms by Dr. Mary Allen. You know Jenny Dawson. She's part of your group. She's offering a day retreat on Ursula Bethel. We have Franciscan Spirituality, Ora et Labora, I'm the Bread of Life, Landscape of Faith, and all different sort of themed day retreats. We have weekend retreats, and these are now done by spiritual directors. About the praying with the Beatitudes, a creative writing retreat. So those both are almost full, actually, fully booked, which is great. Sister Hildegard, Saint Hildegard of Bingen, Hearts Ablaze, praying with the Psalms, Creative Joy, the Enneagram. So these are weekend retreats. And then we have the big retreats. So they are usually 7-day retreats. For example, praying the Trinity or participating in the Trinity, led by Donald and Janice Scott. And 7-day is sort of a typical day, typical length for really in-depth, you know. This is and these are quite amazing when you have a 7-day retreat. After the first day, second day, you can feel there's a very light, peaceful atmosphere coming over the house, because people settled into that silence, and they have the rhythm. Every day has a rhythm, and they meet each other in silence, you know, and still there's so much you learn so much of each other. It's quite beautiful to watch that. So yeah, so we have one Trinity. In August we have one a 6-day retreat on the Psalms. Then we have one on Julian Norwich, which is also booked out with Glenda Prosser. And she also does the 7-day silent directed retreat, which is a very simple retreat. You have sessions and you have spiritual direction every day, but there's no special theme. Yeah. And they're quite popular actually. So all weekend and long retreats offer daily spiritual direction as well. Yeah. Yeah, you can come on self-guided retreats, which means you just book a room for overnight or for the day. That you know, and whenever you want to come, and you look after yourself. It's all self-catered, self-guided. We have resources there, and we're always happy to help you around, you know, if you're sort of lost, because we have some people who are coming recommended by someone from the parish, and then you can see that they haven't done a retreat before, and then we give them a little bit of help how to go on. We have a structure for the day, or how they can use the space. Yeah, and you can book Sister Eveleen for your group. This is just a little plug for if you have a ministry group, a prayer group. We had Scripture Union with us. We had Housing Aotearoa with us. We had the Voices of Martyrs. We have pastoral team meetings with us. Yeah, so and they can just take the whole house. They can book the whole house and do their own retreat. We had a women's surfing retreat, a Christian dancers with us, and yeah, that's quite it's quite a beautiful spot to do your own retreat. The only disadvantage we have, and you might have seen it from my first pictures, we are not really accessible for people who have mobility issues. So there is a possibility that you can be dropped with a car above our house, and then you can walk an almost even pathway to the back of the house without using any steps. But it's still a bit of not a mission. It's possible, but you know, we are, for example, not wheelchair friendly. You know, where it's really, you know, it's just because of the location and the age of the house that's not possible, unfortunately. Yeah, I told you about our prayer rhythm. That's also an important piece of the house, that we are, you know, that we have this prayer rhythm that is going on even if there are people there or not, if there are group there or not. Yeah, and so that was my little introduction to take you up the hill, and to introduce you to our little retreat house. But what I don't want this to be just an advertising spot for me. I really want you to think about, do you take time? When have you had sorry, I start again. Have you had enough time out, really? Do you usually, is this part of your practice to take a break, to do silence, to just stop? How hard is it for you? Do you do it on a regular basis? Or yeah, so is it part of your practice? Is it something you need to be working on? What makes it hard if you don't do it, or you have or you do it on a regular basis, and then how much does it affect you? Is it good, you know? Yeah. So I want to sort of finish with the thought, and maybe getting some feedback from you to hear, do you take time away? Do you go on retreats? What do you want to see on retreats, or learn or experience on retreats? Yeah, any voices from you? I'm quite open to get into a corridor with you. And I stop sharing now. Good. I talked very much, so I hope it was not too much.